Let me take you to a Boxing Day sale that no one who survived will ever forget. It was a day that started like any other, filled with the promise of great deals and the excitement of post-holiday shopping. This is The Shopper's Curse, a tale that will make you think twice before venturing out for those irresistible discounts. Emma was just like any other shopper that day, eager to grab the best deals. She had a list, a plan, and the determination to get everything she needed. She'd braved the biting cold, endured the jostling crowd, and finally reached the electronics store to snag a discounted laptop for her son. The store was packed, but she was undeterred. But as she stepped inside, something shifted. The atmosphere changed, becoming heavy and oppressive. At first, it was just the lights flickering, a minor inconvenience, she thought. A low hum vibrated through the air, almost imperceptible. It was as if the very walls were whispering secrets. Emma ignored it. She was focused on her goal. The laptop was within reach, and she wasn't about to let a few oddities deter her. But as she approached the checkout counter, the air seemed to thicken around her. It was harder to breathe, and a sense of dread began to creep in. The cashier's smile was too wide, his voice unnervingly flat. It was as if he was a puppet, controlled by unseen strings. Then came the announcement. Attention shoppers. Due to unforeseen circumstances, the mall will be closing immediately. Please proceed to the nearest exit. Panic began to set in as people rushed towards the exits, but something felt off. Emma's phone buzzed in her pocket. She pulled it out, expecting a message from her son. A single notification lit up the screen. You should have stayed home. Her heart raced as she read the message, and that's when the screaming began. It was a sound that would haunt her for the rest of her life. What followed was a nightmare of shadowy figures, endless twisting hallways, and a malevolent presence that seemed to watch their every move. The mall had transformed into a labyrinth of terror. Doors appeared where there were none before, only to vanish when approached. It was as if the mall itself was playing tricks on them. The escalators, once frozen, began moving backward, leading those who dared step onto them deeper into the labyrinth. There was no escape. Emma found herself in a service corridor with a small group of terrified shoppers. They huddled together, trying to make sense of the madness. As they moved, the sound of dragging footsteps followed them, slow and deliberate. It was as if something was stalking them. They discovered a locked room filled with mannequins. The lifeless figures seemed to watch them with unseeing eyes. When they returned to the corridor, their numbers were fewer, though no one had seen anyone leave. It was as if the mall was swallowing them one by one. Boxing Day sales are supposed to be harmless, but are they? This experience would forever change the way Emma viewed shopping. The mall had become a place of nightmares, a reminder that sometimes the best deals come at the highest price. Emma remembered happier times, shopping with her son, the joy of finding the perfect gift. Those memories now felt like a distant dream. Clutching a photo of her son, Emma's determination grew. She had to survive this nightmare for him. Taking charge, Emma led the group through the maze-like corridors, her resolve unwavering. Finally, they stumbled upon a hidden exit. With a mix of relief and fear, they made their way out, the mall's eerie presence still lingering in their minds. Outside, they looked back at the mall, now just a dark silhouette against the night sky. The ordeal had changed them all. Emma hugged her son tightly, grateful to be alive. The shopper's curse had left its mark, but they had survived. As they walked away, Emma knew she would never look at a Boxing Day sale the same way again. The mall had become a place of nightmares, a reminder that sometimes the best deals come at the highest price. Let's move on to a story of greed, deals too good to be true, and a salesman you'll never forget. This tale will take you through the dark corridors of desire and the eerie consequences of unchecked ambition. This is the Silent Salesman, a chilling reminder that not all bargains are worth the cost. Liam loved Boxing Day sales, the thrill of the hunt, the rush of finding the best deals. It was all a part of his yearly tradition. But this year, his obsession would cost him more than he ever imagined. The stakes were higher, and the consequences far more sinister. When Liam found the TV he wanted was sold out, his heart sank. Desperation set in as he scoured the aisles, hoping for a miracle. Then a helpful employee appeared, offering him a special deal in the back room. It seemed like a stroke of luck, but it was anything but. As he signed the contract for his purchase, Liam didn't notice the shadows stretching unnaturally long, creeping like dark tendrils around him. Nor did he hear the whispers that seemed to echo in the stillness, a chilling prelude to the nightmare that was about to unfold. He fled the store, TV in hand, his heart pounding with a mix of excitement and unease. But the horrors followed him home, lurking in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to strike. The moment he turned on his new TV, the screen didn't show his favorite shows. Instead, it revealed something far more terrifying. It showed him, a version of him that wasn't him, a twisted reflection that sent chills down his spine. And then, the salesman's voice whispered in his ear, "Terms are binding." The words echoed, sealing his fate. Some deals aren't worth the price you pay. Liam realized this too late, trapped by his own greed. And some places aren't worth visiting. The Silent Salesman had claimed another victim. Let me tell you about the warehouse at the edge of town. Victoria was trying to honor her late sister's Boxing Day tradition, but grief and curiosity led her to a warehouse sale she'd never heard of. Inside, she found strange items, a doll with human teeth, a mirror that showed things that weren't there, and a jewelry box identical to the one her sister had owned. When Victoria opened the jewelry box at home, she found a note in her sister's handwriting. "Don't come back." But by then, it was too late. The box unleashed shadows that swallowed her whole. Her screams were the last thing her neighbors heard before her house went dark forever. and when the authorities arrived, all they found was an empty room, the jewelry box sitting ominously on the floor. And now, for the final story, the mall that shouldn't exist. The mall was massive, its parking lot shrouded in mist. Inside, the prices were unbelievable, the shoppers unnervingly silent. But as Jenna and her friends explored, the mall began to change. Hallways stretched endlessly, mannequins moved on their own, and whispers filled the air. They found an escalator labeled "Exit Below," but what waited at the bottom was worse than anything above. A shadowy figure demanded payment for their escape. Jenna offered back the bracelet she'd bought, but the figure only smiled and said, "The price is you." So, the next time you're tempted by a deal that seems too good to be true, ask yourself, what are you really willing to pay? Stay safe, stay vigilant, and remember, some places are best left unexplored. But wait, there is one more tale, one so chilling, it's rarely spoken aloud. This is the Forgotten Town Sale. Iron, Lucy, and Ellie had never heard of Harrow Glen, but the flyer they found promised unbeatable Boxing Day deals and festivities for the whole family. The flyer was colorful and inviting, filled with images of smiling faces and festive decorations. What better way to cap off their holiday trip? They were excited, chatting about the potential treasures they might find and the fun they would have. But as they drove deeper into the town, they began to notice strange things. The fog thickened, and the road seemed to stretch endlessly, with no other cars in sight. The lights twinkled, and the shop windows were full of enticing items, antique toys, hand-knit sweaters, rare books. Each shop seemed to beckon them with a promise of unique finds, yet the town was eerily quiet. No laughter, no chatter, just the sound of their footsteps echoing through the empty streets. They ventured into the first shop, a quaint toy store. The door creaked as they entered, and a bell jingled softly. The shelves were overflowing, and Ellie's eyes lit up as she picked out a vintage doll. It was beautifully crafted, with delicate features and a dress that seemed almost new. The shopkeeper emerged from the shadows, pale and smiling too widely. His eyes seemed to follow their every move, making them uneasy. The family decided to explore more of the town. They hoped to find more shops, and perhaps some friendly faces. Each shop seemed more bizarre than the last. The displays were odd, and the items for sale were unlike anything they had ever seen. A clothing store with mannequins that shifted positions when unobserved. It was as if they had a life of their own, moving silently when no one was looking. A bakery where the cakes seemed to pulse as if alive. The frosting seemed to breathe, and the decorations moved ever so slightly. And everywhere the townsfolk's identical faces beamed at them, their hollow laughter echoing through the streets. It was as if they were all part of some strange shared secret. As the sun set, the town grew darker, and so did its charm. The festive decorations now cast long, eerie shadows. The townsfolk began to gather in the square, their movements jerky like marionettes. It was a disturbing sight, and the family felt a growing sense of dread. The family decided it was time to leave, but when they returned to their car, it wouldn't start. Panic set in as they tried repeatedly to get the engine to turn over. They sought refuge in the town hall, only to discover a wall covered in photographs. The images were old and faded, yet hauntingly familiar. Each picture showed past visitors, smiling families, happy couples, all now missing. The realization hit them hard. They were not the first to be lured here. And there, freshly pinned, was a photo of Aaron, Lucy, and Ellie, taken just hours earlier. Their own faces stared back at them, frozen in time. They sped out of Harrow Glen, the road behind them, disappearing into nothingness. It was as if the town was erasing itself from existence. When they finally reached safety, they found the antique clock had stopped at exactly midnight. It was a chilling reminder of their ordeal. Ellie's doll lay lifeless, its eyes now closed. The once vibrant toy now seemed like a sinister relic, but their relief was short-lived. A sense of unease lingered, as if they had brought something back with them. Days later, they discovered the clock had restarted, ticking backward, counting down to something. The sound was relentless, a constant reminder of the unknown. Not all deals are worth the cost. The family realized that some bargains come with a hidden price. And sometimes the price isn't paid until it's too late. The memory of Harrow Glen would haunt them forever. Thanks for watching, everyone. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and ring the notification bell for more videos coming your way very soon. Well, this year could have gone better, but I tend to look at the silver lining in things, and well, some ups and lots of downs, but I'll keep moving forward. I'd say one of my New Year's resolutions is to keep consistent with more uploads going forward. Other than that, I hope 2025 for you all brings a sense of new vigor and drive as we say goodbye to this year. Stay safe and aware, but never forget, we're always watching.